He is bland original Cheerios with skim milk in a bowl. I don't know how better to explain him. So, has a bunch of Dragon Age companions, and I was going to go ahead and rank them because I absolutely adore this franchise, even though I haven't played the first one all the way to the end yet. So I'm a bit disrespectful in that regard, but I don't care. I'm going to do the thing anyway. And hopefully everyone can laugh at me. Okay, there we go. So let's just start off first. Oh, wow. This thing played around with all the graphics. Fun times. Okay, so let's just start off right out the gate, okay? Even though this individual wasn't in the first one, can we all just agree that Varric is the best of the best? Oh, okay. I think I picked a different one. But anyways, Varric is the absolute bomb. Everything from his demeanor to his quips and his way of talking, it's hilarious because he actually speaks and acts like a friend of mine that I know. And what's really interesting is that, I mean, while this friend is not a dwarf, the build and the fact that this friend is shorter than me does make it an interesting situation that the second I finished playing the game, I immediately texted him and went, "I found you in a video game." And I sent it to him, like this video compilation of all these dialogue quirks. And even he was pretty impressed. It was pretty spot on. So I'm just going to start right out the gate that Varric is S tier, no doubt about it. Totally A++ in my book. And so if anyone disagrees, I will fight them. But I don't think anyone's going to disagree because I believe he's like ranked like the most popular Dragon Age character in the entire franchise. I think. I can't remember. But yes, Varric is definitely S tier. So then we will just, let's pluck Leliana. Let's give Leliana a shot. Now, so Leliana is a companion in Origins. And so I got to a point where I got her in my group. And she's definitely a completely different person from Origins. And I know she makes a slight cameo in some of the DLC for Dragon Age 2, and then she's an advisor in Inquisition. And so I know her most from Inquisition. And I personally think that she's a badass. But do I love her more than I love someone like Varric? Not really. But Leliana is definitely a wonderful badass, and you never know what she will do. She is the spy master for you in the Inquisition. She's just an amazing character, and she goes through a lot of, especially in Inquisition, she goes through a lot of questioning of her faith. And I really, that adds that extra depth to her. I mean, she does everything she can for the Chantry, and yet she still questions it, wondering why so many suffer in the Maker's name. And that whole, like, as you get to know her, just going through that psychological process for her, is really a great character arc for her. I really enjoy it. So, she's definitely a great character that I love. Let's see. Oh, we've got 2 doggos in here. Okay. So doggo number 1 is from Origins, and doggo is definitely, I like doggo. I remember liking doggo. So yeah, the Mabari doggo that is your companion in Origins, definitely a useful character, kind of tanky with a little bit of DPS. I love it. I also like my doggo from Dragon Age 2, but he really doesn't do much, or at least I don't recall him doing much. So I'm just going to stick him right in the middle. Mabari doggo definitely from Origins definitely has a little bit higher up, although he is pretty funny. Moving on to another Origins character that actually shows up in some DLC on Dragon Age 2 is Zevran. This character is, I mean, I haven't, like, again, so this is going to be disrespectful because I haven't played with Zevran in Origins, so I don't know what he's like there or what his process is. And then Zevran is part of your quest map in Inquisition, but you don't really ever interact with him. So all I know him from is the DLC from Dragonage 2. And quite frankly, he strikes me as that very, very stereotypical cardboard cutout playboy type elf character. And so for me, that's going to be a pass. Like, it's just, he's entertaining. I mean, but it's just, I could come or go without him. Like, it's just definitely not anywhere on my list of interest. And then definitely going over to Wynn. Now, this is another Origins character, so again, we're going to have a little bit of disrespect. I don't know. I know that I've encountered her in the Tower Mage, or the Mage Tower, when we were trying to rescue some people, and so she's really, from what I know, she's pretty good-hearted, pretty good nature, but I have not played out any of her character arcs, so I can't make a comment one way or another. So she's going to stay in the neutral zone because I don't dislike her, but I don't know enough about her to really like her either way. And then we've got Vivian. Vivian was interesting. So I never really used her in my Inquisition party, mostly because she's a squishy mage, and specifically, she's a melee mage that is squishy. So she is of no use to me in battle. I'm sure there's a build for her that makes her absolutely amazing, but her combined with the AI does not work for me, or at least I've never been able to get it to work. I do like her character arc. I like the fact that she is the representative of everything that's formal about the old traditional system that's basically falling apart now in the world. And so there's that with a little, but she is also really full of herself. And so she kind of like, one where I don't really get all that into her, but at the same time, I don't have an intense dislike of her the way other people might have. So again, she's going to stay in neutral ground because I don't like, as far as a character of companion is concerned, she's not really of much use to me based off of all the classes that I enjoy playing. But at the same time, her combination with her AI, unless you're driving her directly, she's not a really good companion because she just squishes too hard, too fast with what she uses. So she's not useful in battle, but in the story mode, she adds that je ne sais quoi to the character, as far as like saying that you really need to be the act of the Herald of Andraste, and here is what the people expect of you. And so she's definitely the regal, royal, formal advisor on that front. So I give respect to that. Let's see, dealing with a lot of Origins characters. So let's move past these two for right now. We'll get back to them later. Let's deal with Solas. Let's talk about Egghead, shall we? So for those who haven't played Inquisition, although at this point the game has been out long enough, and now with the trailer for number 4, with Solas obviously being the antagonist, the main antagonist for this particular installment, it's not too spoilery, but the dude's kind of a dick. I don't like him. I never cared for him at the beginning. I do and I don't understand the appeal. As far as an antagonist is concerned, going into Dragon Age 4, whenever that comes out, I think he's going to be a fantastic villain. But yeah, I didn't like him. I didn't like his... I don't like his approach. I mean, he was okay at first, kind of milquetoast, and then when you get deeper into his storyline, as a villain, he is a great villain. But as a support to the protagonist, and the fact that ultimately he is a twist villain to some degree, like, that portrayal hurts. That is both beautifully written, and that sucks greatly. And I also don't like him, so I never really liked him. So come at me with all you Solas fans with your hate. I understand. I just still don't like him. I respect that you like him, but I don't care. I'm also going to bypass that character because I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Okay, so we've got origins. Sarah. All right, so this is our Inquisition companion. That is also very polarizing. A lot of people don't like her, and I completely understand why. She is a walking firecracker. Like especially when I played Inquisition about 3 times all the way through to the end. And so I played from different aspects. I've played through, I didn't romance her, but I played through most of the arc to get to all of her one-on-one stuff. And she's very all over the place on she just wants to be able to, like, she's always looking out for the little guy, but she is the little guy, and she doesn't understand the bigger and greater responsibilities, nor does she care nor want to. Yeah, Sarah is a dope. She is a dope. And, as a companion in the party, though, she is bomb. Her skill set, like when I was able to max out and craft her skill set as a long distance DPS with what she can do and what you can build her with, she will freaking rock some stuff down to the ground. So as far as usefulness as a companion, she's right there, right neck and neck as far as like between her and Varric. They're both, like, I'd actually say if you're not an archer or long range, Sarah is definitely my top pick as far as utility for long range, or even over Varric. I'm sorry, Varric. I still love you though. You are still best boy. But Sarah, from a logistic standpoint, is definitely the stronger long range shooter in the Inquisition arc. However, from an RP and story standpoint, she is all over the place. She really does not care, like, damn the consequences of her actions as long as you're sticking it to the man, regardless of consequences. And that includes if it backfires on her own people, or in this case, you as a friend, as the Herald of Andraste. Like, she has no regard for how her actions might impact you and your group. And so it's a constant struggle of trying to, like, understand what the hell is going on in that head of hers, because, like, once you think you've got her nailed as far as, all right, this is how you would expect her to respond, then all of a sudden, no, that was the wrong thing. She's very all over the place. And so I understand where people come from. So from a story perspective, I'm going to stay neutral, because I do like her in a lot of instances, but I also don't like her in a lot of instances. And I think, that is not what I wrote. That's not what I wrote. Sarah is dope. Oh, Sarah is not a dope. Sarah is dope. Okay, sorry. I misread that. I misinterpreted that. I'm sorry. But yes, so from a game utilitarian mechanics point, she is top S tier as far as what she can do with a long range bow and arrow. Story wise though, once I was able to get her on my team, she's freaking awesome in game in the fighting scenario. But as far as the RP and the story part, she's just all over the place for me and for a lot of other people. But I like her more than a lot of other people. A lot of other people are just, kind of in the middle about it. Moving on, so more Origins characters, we have Sebastian. Okay, so this was Dragonage 2's DLC, dude. And I was just like, oh, cool, a different pretty boy. And he's a clergy boy, and, a super chantry individual. He has the personality of cardboard. There is nothing to him. He is a one-trick interactive pony. And he's not even maybe his bow and arrow skills might be of use, but I literally did not care about him so much that I don't understand. Like, I literally don't understand why they even made this character. Nope, sorry. Like, it wasn't even worth downloading him into the system. He brought nothing to the table. He's literally like, he is a hardcore, chaste individual not only of body and mind and spirit, but just of personality. He is bland original Cheerios with skim milk in a bowl. I don't know how better to explain him. They should not have bothered of putting him in there. It was just not even worth it. Like, not even worth the time to code him into the game as DLC. Nope. Okay. Let's see. So another Origins character, and this one now. Okay, so I believe this is Alistair, right? Yes, this is Alistair. So this was Pretty Boy number 1 back in Origins. So while Sarah is dope, Alistair is a dope. He is dumb. He's dumb as a box of rocks. I originally was just like, oh, he's pretty. Maybe I'll hit on him because I literally just have him and the dog to choose from. And I'm obviously not picking the dog in that regard. But the more he talks, the more I'm just like, shh, just don't say anything. Just go hit those things over there and just don't die while you're doing it. So, I don't know. Like, he's kind of got some, like, endearingly dumb moments from what I've played of Origins so far. And clearly he's important to the plot line, with what his real background origins are and stuff like that. And, you know, in a way, I don't really have a lot of commentary on how to improve the character because he is a fully realized character. He's just not for me. He's just not for me. So he's going to sit there with Zevran sitting in Lava Land on that front because just not my shtick. Logain can go suck an egg. I don't care. Or wait a minute. Am I confusing him for that? Literally, there are 2 icons with the same character look. I thought that's Logain. Maybe that's not Logain. But you know what? We're in a disrespectful mood today. So these 2 look exactly alike to me. So they're both just going to stay down there in the get wrecked sucker category along with Cheerios and skim milk and egghead. Because that's how I'm feeling tonight. That's how this is going down. Come at me, people, and feel free to school me on who the other individual who looks like Logain but is not Logain. And you know what? I have no idea who this person is. So you know what? Down there you go to. Get wrecked. You can all have a campfire and tell stories about how you hate me later. Let's see. Let's go ahead and touch on some of these Origins characters. What a blowout, right? Just the clan of rejects right down here. I don't think I'm gonna get too much blowback from these 4. I think most of the haterade's gonna come on where I've ranked Solas, because I know he's a fan favorite for some really twisted individuals in certain cases, the ones that really love the bad boys. Anyways, I'm going to hit the Origins people. I got to be honest, I don't know this person. I don't know this individual. I've worked with this one, and so they are also kind of cardboard, but at least they are, like, he'll just hang out with Alistair because honestly, like, you know, I know he's got more to him. I can sense that there's more to him, but I haven't played through Origins enough to really get the full scope of that Kunari. I've read the background of this one, and so I think they've got a very interesting background, but I have not even encountered them, so I can't say one way or another. I've heard some interesting things about this individual, so that's going to stay another Origins character that's going to stay in the neutral zone for now. And so now we're getting to the people that all the remaining people I actually know. Yay! So we're going to have a little bit better going forward. So we got to give Varric someone to be buddies with. And so that being said, the individual that's going to hang out next to Varric is obviously Fenris. I love me my broody elves, but I was blown, like, and I understand he is kind of a 50-50 for a lot of people too. The thing is that, yes, he is a broody little elf, but he's got a really awesome backstory. And when you romance him, there is a lot of inner character depth that comes out, and you get to see the soft, squishy side to him. And I love those types of characters. He is my favorite character to romance. He is very, very pretty, and there's a lot to him. And also he is great for like, he's not good if you play a tanky type character, because he is a tanky type character him in of himself, but he's an amazing tanky type character as far as in Dragon Age 2 game wise. He's got an amazing backstory. It's very well put together. He's wonderful to romance. I love the torment and the inner turmoil and the torture and all of that other stuff. Like, I just want to, give him hugs and cuddles and hot chocolate and hopefully and kiss all of his dark woes goodbye. And that's just how I am. And I will stand by that to the day I die. Meanwhile, on the other side, and that I'm about to get more hate for, this dude can also go suck an egg. If I didn't get hate already for the turmoil that is putting Solas down here in the F- area, I sure am gonna get haterade, because I know there's a loyal fan base for Anders. I've heard all the defenses. I know that in Origins he's a completely different person, but dude, when you blow up the Chantry with the high priestess or whatever her name, who is actually a decent human being, all because you are stuck on a cause because you got basically overzealous with this justice spirit that's basically completely possessed your body. I don't care. Not only, and it wasn't just that either. It's just that, like, you don't even have to try to romance Anders for him to basically throw himself on you. Like, literally, if you treat him like a decent human being, he takes that, like, you're interested in him and, like, mugs you on the lips. That sideswiped me so hard. I was not expecting that in the slightest. And so he's just creepy and he's psychotic. Like, I can't, I mean, at least Solas is a good villain, and Anders is just, there is, like, by the time you play in Dragon Age 2, once you get through the game and you're getting to the end, he's lost all sense of reality. Like, it's all gone out the window. There is no redeeming factors about him. Whether you decide to save him or not, he still spurns you and, thinks you're a fool and all that other jazz, regardless of the situation. So you know what? I mean, so unless you're totally on board with his completely 100% off the rocker attack, it's just, yeah, no. Like, I can't condone anything that this character has done in Dragon Age 2 after the culmination of those events, And then everything that happened after the fact in Inquisition. Like, the trickle-down effect was absolutely massive. So, I mean, yeah, great. He was a great catalyst to start a full-on war by Dragon Age 3. But, no. Don't like him. Sorry. I'll stand by it. I'll die on that hill. I don't care. All right. Anyways, I like her. Aveline. There we go. Aveline. Jeepers. Okay. I like Aveline. She is a very no-nonsense, strong-hearted woman. I love and respect the fact that she becomes like captain of the guard of that area. And in Kirkwall. And she's also very tanky. I haven't brought her as much, like, when I have Fenris in my party, I really don't need Aveline. And so once I get Fenris, I kind of abandon her and I just work through all of her character arcs. I've never romanced her, but I do like her character development. I think she's a great counter, that lawful good moral code stance. I love how she's developed as an individual. I do really like her. I find her to be just a really good, solid character, especially a really good, solid female character. I forgot the names of all of these besides Varric. Yeah, it's been 2 years since I've played Dragon Age 2 all the way through, because I played Inquisition mostly in 2021. So, like, my brain kind of blipped on a lot of them. But yeah, so I really like Aveline. She's a really good, solid character. Great to the storyline, and I enjoyed a lot of her quips. I loved all of her little side plots as I'm developing a relationship, a rapport with her as a friend and stuff like that. Tons of fun. Bethany is great. I like Bethany. And it's really sad. It's unfortunate that you don't have a choice in which of the twins you want to basically get smashed on the rocks by that troll at the beginning, because it would be Carver every time. So let's just not beat around the bush. Let's just go ahead and rank both of these at the same time. Bethany is best gal, and Carver is not good at all. Like, he is so whiny, and he only gets whinier and more indignant as you succeed in life and he doesn't. And then he goes and makes stupid choices just to spite you. Meanwhile, Bethany actually tries to help you out. Bethany is actually looking out for your best interest. Bethany has your back, and I love her. And I always hate, especially with the characters that I like, when you pick, especially when I pick the mage class, I tear up knowing that she's going to go down, because you can't have more than one mage in your party. But she's also, if you are not a mage and she actually survives, she is a very powerful mage, and she's wonderful to have in the party when you can, for as long as you do have her. So she is great. He is horrible. That's the end of that. Okay. Blackwall, right? Yes. So this individual I actually romanced second to Mr. Cullen. I actually like Blackwall. I know a lot of people are kind of indifferent to him, and it's mostly because he's got the big, burly beard, and he's an older gentleman. I think he's in his 40s or something like that. So yeah, I get it. He's not the pretty boy, but I actually like male characters that are men. Like, I'm not to be like that, but I'm just like, I like my big, burly, strong, knight-esque characters that have strong masculine qualities about them. Like, I'm into that too. So I appreciate Blackwall's history. I appreciate his character model. Like, he really did it for me as far as that was concerned. And I like the fact, I liked the twist in his history. I like how you can either decide to, especially in the romance segment, after the twist scenario with him comes about, how you can choose to either mend the relationship and start over again, or just call it quits because the betrayal was just too much. I really like having that ability. And then he's an insane tank. He is, like, especially when you max out a lot of his abilities, like, nothing can bring him down. He will outlive everybody. So he's extremely utilitarian on the party front, as far as I found. And he's got a very compelling backstory that I really, really like. So for me, I wouldn't say completely S tier, but I dig him. I really liked everything about him. Okay, Cassandra is my girl. I have a lesbian crush on Cassandra. She is adorable. She is also tough on the outside, but ooey gooey squishy on the inside. And she loves herself some smutty romance novels, and I'm all about that life with her. She is a book nerd, and she is a smut book nerd, and I am A-okay with that. And she gets flustered so easily too, like, because she's so serious about her, about her goals and her occupation and everything like that. So when you tease her about just being softer, she gets all flustered, and it's so freaking adorable, and I love everything about her. And Cassandra is the best. Cole. So Cole is the spirit in Inquisition that shows up. He also has a very compelling backstory. He is in a dragonage novel, which I do have the series and that I do plan to read. And so I think he comes more from the novels as far as his history is concerned. Utilitarian wise, he's good in certain areas, but he's a melee rogue. So he's super squishy. So I couldn't use him all that much with especially when we were getting into later end game stuff, because he would get wrecked sometimes. Like he would do really, really well and then just get wrecked out of nowhere. It'd be like a one-shot kill. So he's kind of inconsistent with his utilitarian aspects as far as the in-game battle process is concerned. His character is cool and it's kind of quirky and I do like it, but I don't like it more than a lot of the other characters that I have in these upper ranks. I could go without him, to be honest. Like he could be removed from the game entirely, and I don't feel that his absence would remove anything from the story, to be completely honest. Okay, Cullen. Cullen is my other boy. I romanced him first because I do love the Templar. As you can see, I'm really into the Templar duty soldier kind of individual. He is definitely a soft squishy on the outside, but like he's been tormented pretty badly. His background is really super sad, and I enjoyed the ride. He is a great base standard romance character. I mean, I think what I remember reading is that basically fans loved him so much in previous installments that they really, really wanted him to be like a companion or something, or at least someone they could romance. And so his installment in Inquisition allowed you to do that. And technically, I gravitated to him first. He does have a lot of PTSD. There's a lot of war trauma that has gone on involving, the Fade and what was done to him on a psychological level. And so I know that he's pretty, like, people consider his character creation milquetoast, but I do find him extremely compelling, and so I'm going to put him right here. He was definitely a really good, solid character to work with, even if he does feel sort of standardized. And then, oh my gosh, Dorian, we don't even have to, Dorian is S tier. I'm sorry. I also romanced him as a male elf. He is hilarious. He is very skilled as a mage. He's like my go-to for mage. Solas, as soon as I get Dorian, I kick Solas out of the party. Vivian doesn't even come included. Like Dorian is my go-to from a utilitarian standpoint. And then he is so compelling. I believe they said that him and Sarah are like the two established gay companions from Inquisition, but I love Dorian. He is so he's so well written as a character. His background and his twist as you're going through the relationship process and all that other stuff is wonderful. He's got a great wit. He's right there with Varric. Like him and Varric could probably go drinking. Dorian is definitely one of my favorites. He is such a strong character as far as how he was written, the relationships that you go, like the relationship process you go through when you're going through his storyline, and what he contributes to the ultimate storyline. I really hope we get to see him in dragonage 4, but we'll see. But yeah, no, he's definitely S tier, best boy. So Iron Bull, definitely a great character, has some of the best dialogue lines in the game. He is also, I think he's one of the BDSM type romance characters in this game too. It's fantastic. I love everything about it. Do I like him more than Dorian though? No, I do not. But he is amazing. I give him an A++. Meryl is best girl. I'm going to go ahead and put her right in here. I love the fact that she is constantly trying to dabble in stuff that people are telling her not to do. And then she goes and does it anyways. And then shit just hits the fan. I love her character development. I love the push and pull of, it was a constant, especially when you're trying to just become friends with her and trying to go through her personal struggle. It is a very delicate balance of making sure that you pick the right way to interact with her. And then, I haven't romanced her yet, but I do know some who have. And just that process also is just a wonderful, beautiful thing to watch. Meryl is best girl. She's such a sweetheart. She's definitely right there in the good category. And she's freaking amazing as a caster support. Especially once Bethany is no longer available to be in your party, she is pretty much my next go-to for caster companion. Such respect for Meryl. Yes, I have respect for Meryl. However, do I love her more than I love Dorian or Cassandra or Fenris or Varric? I do not, I'm afraid, but I have mad respect for Meryl, and I love her. Isabella. There we go. Sorry. Isabella, our pirate queen of awesomeness. I think she's the other BDSM character technically, or something. I can't remember, but she's amazing too. She's right there with Iron Bull because her and Iron Bull share a lot of just their general attitude towards things. But she also has a very interesting, especially when the Kunari attack in Kirkwall, there comes a twist point that she can either rise to new heights or totally disappoint you. And I loved that twist. I loved because she comes in with such an a wonderful, like, so easy to get along with, only to find out that there's more to her that you don't know about, and that at any moment that can turn on you. Even though she's been fighting by your side, in the end, she still looks out for number one first and foremost, and her priorities will always take precedence over anything involved, regardless of how much worse it is over what she's dealing with. So that was definitely a compelling element to her that I greatly enjoyed, even as I was getting stabbed in the back. Josephine, who I also love and admire. Josephine is also another character that I was going to romance, and then I think I diverted. I can't remember. But Josephine, very smart woman, good head on her shoulders, love everything about her. And she's elegant. I have to say, I think she's an elegant, better version of what Vivian is trying to be. She has the ability to bring grace and poise to the Inquisition, but she doesn't talk down to any of the people that she is assisting in the same way that Vivian has that air of snobbery about her. And Sarah is very cut and dry about it, but Josephine is ineffable. I cannot explain her. But yes, her grace and poise brings such a great element to it. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Miss Morgan. And she is the crux to a lot of stuff. I know the role she plays in Origins. I love her sassy tone and the fact that she's constantly sassing Alistair and insulting him every step of the way. I didn't see her much in Dragon Age 2, but in Dragon Age Inquisition, her involvement in the story and where it goes from here is definitely interesting. Especially being the daughter of Flemeth. And so I will put her right here. I respect her as a character, even though she's not my favorite, but she does bring a lot of weight to the storyline franchise as a whole because of who she is, what she's been involved in, what more she's bringing to the table, and everything she knows, and how her decisions end up impacting everybody else around her. And so I feel that is such a well-written character on that front, that even if I haven't played with her much as a companion, I understand and respect her value as an overall, contributor to this whole entire franchise. In any event, this concludes the very intense and disrespectful sorting for the Origins characters, but yeah, this is my tier of where I stand before I've played Origins to the end. I might do this in a year or a year from now when I eventually get around to finishing it, but for the most part, I feel pretty confident on where I put everything. I don't think I would change anything right now. I mean, I think the only characters that might shift around a bit are the Origin characters once I get to actually play and know them better. But yeah, so tell me what you think. Comment below. Feel free to send me hate on, where I sat Solas and Anders, because I know there's some people that are going to hate me for it, but I'm sorry. I stand by that. But yeah, I would have to say my S tiers are Varric, Fenris, Cassandra, and Dorian. And quite frankly, those 4 would make great companions in my team. Like, you could just give me those 4 for Dragon Age 4 and I will just go through and just wipe the floor with everybody. Like, I feel that is my destiny.
Check out my fantasy novel, Key of Arcandus, through any major online book retailers such as Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Or you can support your local bookstore by having them request a copy through their distribution channels. Links are in the description below.